Howdy everyone, this is HankAmericanEngine and welcome to the Bachmann, Oliver, and Toad review. This review is brought to you by TrainSetsOnly.com, RJ'sTrainStop.com, RJ'sTrainStop.com. Model railroading is serious fun. TheFavoriteSpot.com and TotallyThomastown.com. TotallyThomastown.com is a second-hand resale site and shop in Canada for Thomas & Friends merchandise, ranging from wooden railway, take-along/take-and-play, and Trackmaster to some of the newest and latest products. Use the following code to earn 10% off your next online purchase before tax and shipping are applied. So, we were promised an HO scale Oliver and Toad back in 2015, and Toad was released on February 8th in 2016. Oliver finally came to the fans earlier this year on March 9th, 2017. Now both of them are available for fans of all ages to buy. Usually, I'm the guy who reviews the Tomy/Trackmaster items, but I couldn't pass up on an HO scale Oliver and Toad from Bachmann Trains. Bachmann does a fantastic job with creating accurate television series renders of the Thomas & Friends engines and rolling stock in HO/OO scale, and makes them popular for model railroaders who want to stay connected to their childhood.
Review me!
Not now, Scruffy. Both Oliver and Toad are based on their current CGI renders from the television series. Starting off with Toad the Brake Van, I don't have a single complaint about him. His markings are crisply applied and are also in the correct font as well. Bachmann has even painted his buffers a bright metallic gray to try and replicate it from his CGI counterpart. His handbrake is clearly visible in his covered cab, and I don't have much to complain about him. One thing about Toad that has puzzled the fans is his unusually small hook and loop couplings. This is due to the length of his buffer frame, which really restricts the usually gaping size of the standard hook and loop couplings for the Bachmann HO scale Thomas & Friends line. These smaller types of hook and loop couplings are also common on Bachmann's branch line OO scale model railroad line. Twitter user Bass T-Bone Music has this to say about our gentlemanly brake van. I think Toad is a good model. Not really a fan of the mold lines, seeing as you can buy a more updated version of the Toad brake van for less than the retail price. Despite this, the detailing is good due to the model being a mainline model from Bachmann's early era. The model has only one serious error, and that is the decals are only on one side. Other than the glaring issues over his rather shrunken hook and loop couplings and one-sided decals, Toad looks rather smart and ready to help any engine keep rowdy trucks in line.
Review me!
No, Scruffy, I will not review you.
Review me!
No.
Anyways, moving on to the major point of this review, it's Bachmann's HO scale Oliver. To quote Sam the Train Fan's tweet, Bachmann Oliver is surprisingly a lot better than his render. Sam, I couldn't have put it better myself. Oliver looks remarkable. I remember when he finally came in that I tore the box open in a frenzy just to see him for myself. I couldn't believe how wonderful and handsome he looked in the box, but he looks so much better outside of it. Post-production HankAmericanEngine, if you please. What did I tell you? He looks so much better outside of his box than in it.
Come on, review me!
No. I don't think that Oliver was the worst way to transition into the HO scale line following my constant collecting of Tomy Trackmaster engines and rolling stock. He's easily a perfect way to introduce someone into the Bachmann Thomas & Friends HO/OO scale range. Oliver is a spinning image of a CGI render, and just happens to look a lot better than what we see on the screen nowadays. It really is a breath of fresh air to finally see him made by Bachmann, but I know for sure that I am not alone in wishing that they would have manufactured him predating his return to the series, so we would have had a more accurate representation of the Great Western 14XX. Otherwise, I can't help but sing praise to Bachmann for such a wonderful and handsomely breathtaking model. One thing that made many long for him was his two new lanterns that were molded just for him. His headlamp and tail lamp are both newly molded pieces, so many fans, myself included, are possibly aiming to order several when parts for him are finally available. I know some people might have gripes about his appearance, such as his appearance being chosen to follow his current render rather than his accurate model series counterpart, but Bachmann never fails to deliver a brilliantly constructed model. I don't think I can really say anything genuinely bad about this model. Something I've noticed about Oliver is that he's a bit of a poor performer in regards to pulling rolling stock. This is shown with the 4 coal wagons with load that I have. The weights have been removed from them, and he sometimes struggles to pull a train at all. This is due to his unusually light weight as a locomotive, and that will affect performance on your layout even if you have it set up to run the Thomson Friends HOOO scale line. Again, I'll digress as to why that is, as I will address this in another video.
Entertainment Hotel, Jamfield, take bloody notes!
So, I have a few thoughts on how to make this model just so much better for all the fans. Please take note that these are my personal thoughts about how to improve the model and not things that should be done. These are just my personal thoughts. To improve the HOOO scale Bachmann Oliver, number 1. Increase his height to have his buffers meet up evenly to the rolling stock. Number 2. Add window guards to his back windows near his coal bunker. Number 3. Move his drive wheels closer together. Number 4. Add counterweights to his drive wheels. Number 5. Thin out his running board a bit. Number 6. Add handrails to the front of his water tanks. Number 7. Increase the size of his boiler and smoke box accordingly. Number 8. Shorten and widen his boiler, boiler dome, funnel, and smoke box accordingly. Number 9. Lower his main coupling hooks. Number 10. Space out his buffers on his buffer beam accordingly. Number 11. Lengthen Oliver's water tanks, boiler, and running board accordingly. Long and short of numbers 1 through 11. Properly render Oliver's a Great Western 1400. Problem solved entirely. Number 12. Completely optional. White running board. Number 13. Completely far-fetched concept. Bundle Oliver and Toad together. Okay, so numbers 12 and 13 are really far-fetched concepts, but I'm certain it's one many would have wanted.
Review me!
Fine! You look like Scruffy, you feel like Scruffy, you're Scruffy! Shut up!
Anyways, if you've grown up with the Railway series or Model series, Oliver and Toad are a must-have, even for any collector of the HO Scale Thomas & Friends line. I don't honestly have any complaints about either of them, and I'm beyond delighted to see that Bachmann Trains has stood by the fans in the accurate depiction of this iconic duo from the show. Oliver's retail price is $115, and Toad's retail price is $37. If you search around online, you can find them for cheaper prices than the manufacturer's suggested retail price. I paid $23.98 for Toad and $79.77 for Oliver online. Both cost me a grand total of $103.75, which is still cheaper than paying for Oliver by himself. Out of 5 stars, Oliver and Toad both receive 11 stars. I just have to recommend them and tell you that you should invest in these two if you like them as characters. Even if you don't, it's nice to have them running around your layout with a goods train, or even sitting idle waiting for their next assignment or for the signal. Thank you for watching this review. Tell me what you think about Bachmann, Oliver, and Toad. If you liked this video, please click that like button to let me know. And if you want to see more videos like this, please click that subscribe button for more content like this in the future. I'm HankAmericanEngine, and I'll see you in the next video. So, does this mean I'll shift away from the Tomy Trackmaster line and go straight to HO scale? Not likely. For starters, the once expansive cast of characters in the show has really dwindled down nowadays, and even that expansive amount of characters in both the Tomy Trackmaster range has really dwindled down. The HO scale character cast from Bachmann is also rather condensed, but it doesn't mean I'll never touch the HO scale line from Bachmann again. I do plan to purchase Edward, Donald, and Douglas. I can't pass up on the Caledonian twins, and I can't pass up on Edward. I also have plans to purchase a few other freight cars, but I don't know if I'll review them once I buy them. I've always fancied a touch of realism in modeling the Northwestern Railway on the island of Sodor, and I can get that much more easily with HO scale rather than through the Tomy Trackmaster line. It's wonderful to do so, as this can bring someone to the amazing world of model railroading. I'm in an N-scale group, for crying out loud. See Challenger 3985 video on my channel. So, when I finally get my HO scale Donald and Douglas, I will review them, and I will review Edward as well. Also, Bachmann, if you're somehow watching this video, please make Ryan. I will buy him.